What is going on, beautiful people? My name is BetSam. This is going to be the UFC full card prediction, breakdown, and more. We're going to talk about the bets. We're going to talk about my full card predictions. We're going to start at the top of the bill here with Kamaru Usman versus Joaquin Buckley. There's going to be no milk in it. It's going to be short, concise, precise, and to the point because the fights are tomorrow. So this is for you. You know who you are, and you're waiting on my final thoughts on this one. We're going to start at the top of the bill with Joaquin Buckley taking on Kamaru Usman. And if you haven't seen the video already, this is the slam of the week. We are taking Joaquin Buckley to go out here to defeat Kamaru Usman. And I'm going to give you guys full disclosure. Leading up to this fight, incredibly confident, right? Incredibly confident. Joaquin Buckley, my fucking boy. Multi-time Slam of the Week winner, underdog opportunity winner. This guy has won props for us by KOing Vicente Luque. He won props for us by KOing Stephen Wonderboy Thompson. He won props for us for KOing Colby Covington. Like, Joaquin Buckley is absolutely a cash cow for this channel. But in saying that, when I saw Kamaru Usman today at the face-offs with the face paint on, with Ngannou in behind him, like, get a little bit less confident. But the reality of the matter is that Joaquin Buckley is younger. He is more athletic. He has shown an ability to find the knockout shot time and time again. He goes out there. He doesn't accept being in bottom position. He doesn't accept you just working your game plan on him. And he's come down from the middleweight division, so he's faced monsters, the likes of Nassourdine Imavov. He's been out there against high-level competition. We haven't seen him lose in what seems like favorite. And now we've got Kamaru Usman. Haven't seen him in 2 years. On a 3-fight losing streak, coming in here, looking to kind of reinsert himself. This doesn't really work out often. How many times have we seen a welterweight come back 2 years off on a three-fight losing streak, come back and be able to defeat an absolute contender? It's got to be Joaquin Buckley. On a personal side, it's Joaquin Buckley. I'm a huge Joaquin Buckley fan. I'm going to take Joaquin Buckley to win this fight. Official prediction, Joaquin Buckley by knockout. And I think he gets it done in the first 3 rounds. A lot of people are talking about Kamaru Usman's durability. They think it could be rounds 4 and 5. I don't think Kamaru Usman's going to do as good of a job mitigating damage as Colby Covington was in the Joaquin Buckley fight. So I think that Buckley's actually going to be able to land with more flush impact against Kamaru Usman here. So I think he gets it done by knockout inside of 3 rounds. We're going to go on here to the next fight, which is going to be the co-main event. Rose Namajunas taking on Miranda Maverick here. And listen, guys, Rose Namajunas against Miranda Maverick. And apologies for the graphics this week. This week did get away from me. So we're out here. We're using the official UFC website rather than cooking her up our own graphics. So I can already hear Big Angela's voice, those losers out here using Tapology, It's me. It's me this week, guys. It's BetSam. I'm the loser for this one. But I don't think is losing, and that's Rose Namajunas. I think Rose Namajunas is actually going to be able to go out here and defeat nobody, because I think that she is going out here in the flyweight division, and she just seems to not be able to defeat the upper echelon of this division, which is where I think the trajectory of Miranda Maverick is going. Despite being 5'3", she's kind of stacked out for this division, and it's a weird thing to say because Jamie Lynn Hoth is also going to be on this fight card, and she's 5'7" and looks massive. But Miranda Maverick is thick, man. In her legs, in her arms, in her torso, she's going to be just thicker and stronger everywhere than Rose Namajunas, and people are calling me crazy for this pick, and I'm perfectly fine with being wrong, but I'm still not going to let the public opinion sway me when, I watch the tape and I've come to my conclusion. So that's what being a capper is all about. It's about me going out there and putting my picks out here. If I was putting out other people's picks for you, I would feel like a fraud. So my pick is Miranda Maverick. I think she goes out here and gets it done. She only needs 2 takedowns, and I've said this multiple times now. I think she only needs 2 takedowns to get the win here against Rose Namajunas. So Miranda Maverick is the official underdog opportunity, and I'm picking her to get it done over Rose Namajunas with the grappling. Then we have Edmund Shabbazian taking on Andre Petroski. And in this matchup here, Edmund Shabbazian, everybody's saying Edmund by knockout, Edmund gets it done within 2 rounds. That is absolutely a possibility, especially coming off the heels of a victory over Dylan Budka. Dylan Budka kind of walked into that strike really of his own failings. Andre Petroski, while people have talked about him being chinny and all the rest of it, I think he's going to get the takedowns, man. I really do. I think that Andre Petroski, he's a thick grappler. If he can get a hold of Edmund Shabbazian, get chest to chest with him, and then get him down to the mat, not only could he control him, but I think he could actually submit him as well. So Andre Petroski here as an underdog, he was plus 145. I kind of like him here as well. I haven't put official action on him yet, but I'm very much considering it. Even at the weigh-ins there, you see how much thicker Andre Petroski is. And, yeah, I don't know, man. It could be Edmund by knockout, but I'm leaning towards Petroski by submission or decision. Then we have Cody Garbrandt, a.k.a. Cody No Love, taking on the greatest underdog of 2025, which is Raoni Barcelos. You know, the Brazilian wrestling national champion, Raoni Barcelos, went out there and showed that it matters being well-rounded. And Peyton Talbot, you know, for all of his knockout upside, for all of his durability, his willingness to walk through fire, couldn't stop the takedowns of Raoni Barcelos, and ultimately it cost him his undefeated prospect status. So now he takes on Cody Garbrandt and is actually the favorite in this matchup. And on the surface, you think, you know, Cody Garbrandt, former champion, all the rest of it, has the speed, has the power. Cody Garbrandt has not been able to come back to form, and he's looking like a less in-shape version of himself here. He looks a little older as well. I don't know that Cody Garbrandt's going to be able to stop the relentlessness of Raoni Barcelos unless he knocks him out, and I can't trust him to do that. So I'm going to have to lean towards Raoni Barcelos. In a perfect world here, I'd like to see Cody Garbrandt get a knockout. You know, I've always been a Cody Garbrandt fan. As far as Raoni Barcelos goes, I don't really care for him or against him. I'm kind of in a neutral position. So Cody No Love would be who I would like to get it done here. However, the pick is going to be Raoni Barcelos to win this fight by submission or decision. Then we got Mansour Abdulmalik taking on Cody Brundage. Cody Brundage is Jacob's underdog lock of the week. I don't know how I feel about that because, listen, I respect Jacob. You know, he is my co-worker, my peer here at We Want Picks. But I'm going Mansour Abdulmalik. I really don't understand going with the Cody Brundage side. I don't know what Jacob has seen that I potentially am missing here. But Mansour Abdulmalik appears to be a fucking specimen. Like, when I watch him in there, he looks like a specimen. He's going to have an 8-inch reach here. Cody Brundage, his striking isn't exactly immaculate at the best of times, even against lower-tier competition. And Mansour Abdulmalik, I do believe, is one of those guys that hasn't really showed the best version of himself inside the octagon. And if he turns up even 10% more than he has been against these other opponents, I think it's going to be a rough night for Cody Brundage. I expect Mansour Abdulmalik to win this fight by mauling under 1.5 rounds. Then we got the boy, Alonzo Atomic Menfield, taking on Umar Sy. Umar Sy, the French prospect, 6'4". I think Umar Sy is part of the new wave, you know. We got guys like Navajo Sterling. Shout out Navajo, Big Nav. Umar Sy. We got Ming Yang Zhang. The new wave of 205ers is coming, and they're going to eat all the old dogs. They're going to go through, and they're going to chew at the bit. And Umar Sy and Alonzo Menfield is no different. This guy's going to come in here. He's going to, you know, maybe take some shots from Alonzo Menfield, but I don't see Menfield putting him down. If Umar Sy wraps up Alonzo Menfield's neck, it's night-night. If he gets him in a ground and pound position, it's night-night. I'm going to go Umar Sy. I think he wins this fight by finish. It's priced accordingly. Then we have Paul Craig versus Rodolfo Bolato. And when I talked about the new wave of fighters coming through, I did not mention Rodolfo Bolato's name because this guy is not that good, man. He is just not that good. Rodolfo Bolato will never sniff a championship belt. He is so hittable, and he focuses on his durability. Once he gets chinned, like properly chinned in the UFC, it's going to go all downhill from there. I expect this guy to leave the UFC on like a 4-fight losing streak of knockouts or something like that. Against Paul Craig here in this matchup, I want to pick Paul Craig. I really do. I want to pick him, but I'm not going to because ultimately picks and bets are a different thing here. Rodolfo Bolato, if we took the odds aside here, I would say Rodolfo Bolato has shown he can come back from behind. He's shown that he is, you know, pretty durable. He's got a good gas tank. His submission defense should be good enough to defend against Paul Craig off of his back at least, you know. And then so Rodolfo Bolato here, it's going to come down to the tenaciousness of him. I could see him getting on top of Paul Craig, riding mountain positions, or finishing with some ground and pound. So I'm going to go Rodolfo Bolato here. I haven't placed a single bet on him, and I don't intend to. Then we have Michael Kessa taking on Court McGee. Old boy Court McGee. Court McGee is a 40-year-old veteran at this time, 41? I don't know. Michael Kessa is 37. They're both old. This is not a young man's battle. I'm going to go with Court McGee. And this comes down to, I think, in the wrestling positions, I trust Court McGee to shoot for takedowns first. I think that he's going to shoot before Michael Kessa does. I think he's going to get him down. And then after that, the energy transfer might make Michael Kessa more tired than Court McGee, and Court McGee's a grinder, man. If this fight is ugly and it's grindy, it's going to be Court McGee. If Michael Kessa, however, can stay on the outside, land a few pot shots, then get in on a takedown of his own first, it's probably going to be an early night for him as well. The angles I like this fight is either fight to end by submission, which is on either side, it's at plus money, or on the Court McGee side. I can't see myself getting to the betting window on Michael Chiesa. Let's move on. Court McGee by submission or decision is the pick. Then we have Malcolm Wmaker. Malcolm Wmaker is turning up to execute Chris Matinho. And this seems like a public hanging. And even today when I watched the face-offs in front of the crowd, Chris Matinho didn't look like a guy that was turning up to kind of like show up and show out. You know, he kind of had his head down. He didn't appear to me like he was believing that he could win this fight. And that really upsets me from the sense of, you know, when you're an underdog like this, you got to come in here and go, I've got nothing to lose. And so you can show up, you can show out, you can, you know, let the people know I'm here, you know, and try and make something of it. I didn't really see that from Chris Matinho. It seems like he's also accepted that he's just turning up here to accept his beating. You know, and so I'm going to go with Malcolm Wmaker here to win this fight. Under 1.5 rounds is probably where I'm going to go. If you do believe in Chris Matinho's toughness, because I've heard some rumblings of people talking about how durable this guy is. If you believe, you know, he can withstand the shots of Malcolm Wmaker, 10-1 odds on Malcolm Wmaker by decision. Just going to throw that out there. And you might actually see something on that on the old We Want Picks Premium for a little cheeky sprinkle of something that we're gonna talk about there as well. But Malcolm Wmaker by knockout is the official prediction. Then we have Cody Durden taking on Jose Ochoa. I don't know what's wrong with my nose right now, guys, but I've not been bumping out the back, but it's definitely itching. And we got Cody Durden taking on Jose Ochoa. Jose Ochoa coming off of his fight against Lonnie Kavanagh. Cody Durden coming off of a loss to Josh Van where he got absolutely busted up to a decision, might I add. You know, he didn't crumble entirely, but my problem isn't that Cody Durden lost to Josh Van. Josh Van's great. And my problem isn't that Jose Ochoa lost to Lonnie Kavanagh. It's how they fought and looked in those performances. Jose Ochoa looked like a young kid to me that still has plenty to give, you know. His corner there, Rolando Bedoya, everyone was elated for him to be arriving. So the loss wasn't this saddening departure. Cody Durden, on the other hand, he's like battling, you know, not being able to get it done time and time again. So I think Jose Ochoa is going to come in here, think, hey, it's a new start, taking on an opponent here, easier opponent. This guy's not a young, hungry prospect, and I think he's going to let his hands go and he's going to find the mark on Cody Durden. I'm going to take Jose Ochoa to win this fight. Give me the young, more athletic guy to get it done inside the distance. Then we got Cameron Smotherman taking on Ricky Simone. This is a matchup where Cameron Smotherman is stepping on short notice, and you could see it on the scales. He looked pretty rough there. It seemed like he'd made a pretty tough weight cut. He did make weight, so respect to him. You know, I always respect somebody that takes it on short notice and does, you know, make the weight entirely. But I think that's going to favor Ricky Simone. You know, he's going to be peaking. His diet's going to have hit, and he's going to be firing on all cylinders. Cameron Smotherman's, unfortunately for me, he's a kid I actually like. I like me some Cameron Smotherman. However, you know, I don't know that taking this short notice call up was the move because he's coming off of a loss. He can't afford to be racking up losses as a guy who has, you know, not been winning inside the UFC. Otherwise, he might find himself outside of the promotion. So cool of him being a company man, but I don't think it was exactly the smartest career move. I'm going to take Ricky Simone to win this fight, most likely by decision. Then we got Philly Fresh, a.k.a. Phil Rowe, taking on Ange Lusa, the last ninja. Listen, guys, I got a special place in my heart for the people of the Congo, especially the UFC fighters of the Congo, man. There are some absolute fucking specimens that come out of that place, you know. And Ange Lusa is no shortage of that, you know. Even at 5'10", this dude is maxed out. Like for a welterweight at 5'10", he's like Joaquin Buckley level built. This guy's jacked. He's going to come in here. I think he's going to take Phil Rowe down. I think he's going to still land on him on the feet. And I think it's going to look similar to Joaquin Buckley versus Sultan Rusaboyev. I think Ange Lusa is going to come out here. He's going to drain the gas tank of Phil Rowe, still be firing on all cylinders in the third and almost finish him. Give me Ange Lusa to win this fight by knockout or decision. Then for the final fight of the night, and I want to say last but not least, because I do have action on this fight. Jamie Hoth is an official player of mine. The line keeps driving down. I actually think she finishes Vanessa Demopoulos. I'm in the minority here. A lot of people go, and the over 2.5 is free here, buddy. The over on this ladies fight, neither of these girls are dangerous, so I'm telling you right now, Jamie Hoth is fucking enormous. She went out there and put on a competitive showing against Miranda Maverick. Miranda Maverick would smoke Vanessa Demopoulos. Consider this MMA math thing, so you can take it with what you will, but I think Jamie Hoth is going to have a field day here. I think she can light Vanessa Demopoulos up on the feet. I think she can take her down, sub her. She can ground and pound her out. I'm going to take her to win inside the distance. I don't know what Vanessa Demopoulos is doing at this point in her career. She's out here doing the splits and twerking in front of people. This isn't a strip club, sweetheart. You got to go out there and win a fight, and I don't see it happening. 5'2" versus 5'7". Give me Jamie Hoth to win this fight inside the distance. That is the breakdown. Thank you all for watching. If you want to unlock my premium bets, sign up to WeWantPicks.com/BetSam. The link is in the description for all my bets, round line leans, many other tools. Code BetSam for 10% off all memberships. And you unlock Jacob's bets and Big Angie's bets, including the safety parlay, which has been crushing, as well as if Artem ever gets through his schooling, his articles as well. Thank you all for watching. I love each and every single one of you. Let's make some fucking money at UFC Atlanta. I'm out.